which these different tendencies within Christianity played out historically down to the dawn of the modern period. Chapter 3 looks at the two most important historical manifestations of a Christianity of higher power: church Christianity and biblical Christianity. Chapter 4 considers the development of more inward-looking forms of Christianity and discusses mystical Christianity. Together, these chapters suggest that an orientation towards higher power became the dominant mode of Christianity from the 4th century onwards, and that it sought to constrain or co-opt more mystical tendencies. In due course, this preference for hierarchical power, in politics as well as religion, would lead to some serious clashes between Christianity and Western modernity. Chapter 5, which tells the story of Christianity in the modern West, considers these confrontations, but shows how liberal versions of Christianity proved compatible with an enlightened modernity that ascribed high value to human dignity and the free exercise of human reason. The more serious clash came after the 1960s, when growing emphasis on the authority and importance of the effective experimental inner life of each unique individual proved much harder for church and biblical Christianity to digest. As individuals became more inclined to pay attention to inner life and well-being, so they became less willing to conform to the higher authority of God, reason, church, or anything else. The result, in most Western countries, has been a gradual decline in Christian belief and a very severe fall in church-going in the last quarter of the 20th century. Outside the West, however, Christianity has experienced much greater success in recent times, as we see in Chapter 6. In much of the Southern Hemisphere, churches have experienced rapid growth since the 1970s, and it is this that has allowed Christianity to retain its status as the world's largest religion, reaching an estimated 2 billion adherents in 2000. In many parts of the South, charismatic forms of Christianity are flourishing. They combine the clear directives of higher power, the Bible, with the inner empowerment of the Holy Spirit. The book closes with a chapter that expands on a theme that has been implicit throughout: the roles of women and men in Christianity and the place of the male and the female. It explores the paradox of a religion that has always attracted large numbers of women, but seems to have reserved highest power, on earth and in heaven, for men and the masculine. What we find is that Christianity maintains a fine balance between endorsing male privilege on the one hand and exalting the female and feminine virtues on the other. Terms and categories. It is conventional to analyze Christianity in terms of a set of categories generated by the religion itself: early church, Protestant, Nestorian, heretical, and so on. My own study of Christianity over many years, which has involved face-to-face research amongst Christians as well as textual research, has led me to favor a different set of analytical categories, including those of church, biblical, and mystical Christianity. Since this is an introductory book, I have tried to strike a balance between introducing my own terms and categories and employing more conventional ones. The intention is to offer the reader a fresh perspective on Christianity, whilst indicating how this relates to approaches with which he or she may already be familiar and which may be encountered elsewhere. Warts and all. There is a tendency in some treatments of Christianity to look only at the positive: the religion's growth, achievements, beliefs, rituals, great men, cultural contributions. Such topics are often treated in isolation from their wider social and material contexts. This book takes a less idealistic approach. It acknowledges that Christianity, like all religions, has to do with sacred power, and it looks at the ways in which such power has been understood, embodied, and exercised, as well as how it has interacted with secular power. Power in itself is neither good nor bad, merely the force that gets things done. What is interesting, and a focus of the pages that follow, is the range of ways in which it may be understood and activated.